Hello, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's episode is going to be titled Happiness. In my opinion, I feel that happiness is one of the most complex and deeply personal aspects of human life. We all chase it, often believing certain things will bring us joy, only to find that what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. Society bombards us with ideas of what should make us happy: success, money, relationships, material possessions. But in reality, happiness is a far more individualized experience. Everyone has their own definition of happiness, shaped by their upbringing, experiences, and personal desires. What fascinates me most is how drastically different people's sources of joy can be. Take my mother and me, for example. She genuinely loves smoking cigarettes. It's a habit that to her brings comfort and relaxation. I've never done drugs, never smoked, and I have absolutely no desire to. I don't understand her enjoyment of it, and she doesn't understand why I find happiness elsewhere. And that's okay. It's a simple but powerful reminder that happiness is subjective. What brings fulfillment to one person might be meaningless or even repulsive to another. This distinction is crucial because too often people try to impose their version of happiness onto others. They believe that if something makes them happy, it should do the same for everyone else. But life doesn't work like that. There is no universal formula for happiness, yet people constantly preach their own methods as if they are the golden standard. They tell others how to live, what to prioritize, and what they need to do to be happy. The truth is, no one has the right to dictate someone else's happiness. A glaring example of this is religion. Many people believe that true happiness comes from faith, whether it's Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, or any other belief system. And for some, that's true. Religion provides comfort, purpose, and a deep sense of fulfillment. But for others, happiness isn't tied to faith at all. Atheists can be happy, agnostics can be happy. Happiness is not exclusive to any one ideology. People find joy in countless ways, whether through spirituality, personal achievements, relationships, or simply living life on their own terms. What matters most is focusing on your own happiness rather than trying to define it for others. Life is full of people who waste their time policing other people's choices instead of tending to their own joy. If those same people redirected that energy inward, they'd be much better off. Because here's the undeniable truth: no one else can decide what makes you happy. That is entirely up to you. Another thing to consider is that happiness isn't static, it changes over time. What made you happy 10 years ago might not bring you the same joy today. People evolve, interests shift, and priorities change. Take my dad, for instance. When he was younger, he loved eating beans and hot dogs with his family every weekend. It was his little tradition, something he genuinely looked forward to. But as he got older, his body started rejecting those foods, and suddenly, what once made him happy became a source of discomfort. The happiness he once found in that simple meal faded, replaced by new interests and new sources of joy. This same shift happens in relationships. The things that once made your partner happy might lose their impact over time. Maybe they used to love little love notes, surprise coffee deliveries, or date nights at a particular restaurant, but over the years, their preferences change. That doesn't mean happiness disappears, it simply evolves. The key is recognizing that change and adapting rather than clinging to outdated ideas of what happiness should look like. Understanding this fluid nature of happiness can help people avoid frustration. Too often, people chase an old version of joy, trying to recapture something that no longer exists for them. Instead of looking back, it's better to ask, what makes me happy now? What brings me fulfillment today? The answers may be different than they were years ago, and that's completely normal. If I had to sum it all up, my biggest takeaway is this: find what makes you happy and pursue it unapologetically. Stop trying to fit into someone else's mold of happiness. And perhaps most importantly, recognize that happiness isn't a permanent state. No one is happy all the time. It's unrealistic to expect constant joy, just as it's unrealistic to expect a life without struggles. Happiness comes in moments. It's in the little victories: finding a $10 bill on the sidewalk, getting a new phone, treating yourself to your favorite fast food. It's in shared laughter, a beautiful sunset, a song that makes you feel alive. These moments are fleeting, but they add up, forming a patchwork of joy that makes life worth living. And to those who claim they're happy all the time, I call BS. The only people who seem truly, perpetually happy are little kids who don't yet understand the complexities of life, or people who might be ignoring reality. But hey, who am I to say? Maybe some people have cracked the code and live in a constant state of bliss. It just seems highly unlikely. At the end of the day, happiness is deeply personal, constantly changing, and impossible to standardize. The best thing anyone can do is focus on what brings them joy, so long as it's not hurting anyone else, and let others do the same. Because when you stop chasing someone else's version of happiness and start embracing your own, life becomes a whole lot more fulfilling. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Signing out. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye for now.